Hey everyone, it's Colin C back from the Crypto Boys, and I am here once again today to annoy you. Just kidding, to bring you some amazing information. I saw this speech from Kevin O'Leary that he just gave, and I thought it was too important not to get it out to our subscribers and get it out right away. I am in between clients, so I do not have very long. Got like 10 minutes to shoot this video and get it uploaded, so we're going to get it rocking and rolling right now. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so this is the speech he's giving at the Miami Bitcoin convention. The first thing I want to go over is there's going to be a bunch of stops and starts. I'm going to give my opinion on it. Then we're going to kind of go through it and why I think this is such bullish news. And honestly, probably the most bullish overall sentiment and most bullish overall speech I've personally probably ever heard on Bitcoin that actually makes sense and resonates with us and everybody else probably out in the world. That's why we want to get it out to our subscribers. So let's go ahead and get this rolling.
Massive pools of capital. These trillion-dollar pools own this much crypto, this much, practically nothing. It's the purvey of high net worth individuals, hedge funds, and retail investors. And that's okay. But what we're missing is policy. When we get policy and the regulator regulates, that's not a negative thing. The spigots of capital are going to flood into this sector like you've never seen.
All right, guys, that is so bullish. So what he's saying is that mass adoption really can't happen because the massive hedge funds, the massive even retail investors that have trillions and trillions of dollars can't flood the market until there's some regulation and some policy. So that is also keeping crypto down because the really true huge funds that would be getting into crypto can't really buy it right now because of the policy and all the red tape they'd have to try to cut to make it happen. He goes into this further in this speech, which I would say is 100% worth coming and watching. But just think of it, if trillions of dollars pour in, we're only worth just at $2 trillion right now. Think what happens when everybody starts buying it and it starts getting on everybody's balance sheet. It's quadruple. I mean, it's going so big in days and months and years that you probably can't even fathom it.
And so for those of us that can invest in it now, you're getting ahead of what's going to be a huge wave of interest.
Why I added that little part in there, guys, is because you're early. Joe and I say it all the time. You are so early. If you believe in the space right now, I'm telling you, people will come around eventually. It doesn't matter, though, because you're so early. You need to get, if you're invested and you truly believe in it, this is how you're going to make tons of money. This is how in 10, 15 years, you're going to be able to retire and you're going to sit back and laugh because you've already been ahead of the wave. And Kevin O'Leary is saying those exact words right now.
Predict in the next 10 years that crypto, blockchain, Bitcoin, all of this innovation will be the 12th sector of the S&P.
Well, what did he just say? That it's going to become the 12th sector of the S&P? You have any idea how huge that can be? And remember, this is coming from somebody that knows. This is coming from somebody that has context that you and I will probably never have in our entire lives. So for him to be able to say that within the next 10 years, we've only been in crypto for 10 years. We've only had crypto for 10 to 11 years. Think about what's going to happen in 10 years if it gets the 12th sector of the financial system into the S&P. That is absolutely astronomical as far as how high and where this can go.
Is on a bipartisan basis, there are many senators and reps that are thinking about this in a proactive way.
I added this in because it's easy. He's saying that, hey, it's bipartisan. It's not right. It's not left. It's neither of that. And that's to make it really as big as it's going to want to get and it needs to get and it will get. It's going to have to be bipartisan. And I think that's a very bullish statement coming from someone who probably knows a whole lot more than we do about what's going on behind the scenes.
Number two, the president himself, in his direct order, his executive order, talked about crypto as something that he wouldn't make illegal. That was the most important message in there.
Shout out to Dan Pena or whatever his name is, that billionaire that's always running around. If you know who created crypto, it's going to zero. I don't care. I know who did it. Number one, you don't know. Number two, if you did know, trust me, someone tells somebody all the time. You can't keep a secret from your dang sister or your dang mom. You can't keep any secret at all. But you're telling me that the whole billionaire world knows who's keeping the secret from who created crypto? Yeah, I'm sure. And they're pumping in billions of dollars into this market because it's all going to go to zero. Bull crap. He's saying right here, the government, aka Biden, as of right now, already signed an executive order that's saying, hey, listen, it's not going to be illegal. We need to work with it and we need to figure it out. That is extremely bullish news.
If it's backed by the US dollar, it will become the reserve currency of the earth. That's what will happen.
OMG. So he's talking about stable coins here. He's saying that if backed by the US dollar, and he thinks there's a good potential in the next 10 years for this to happen, he's saying that it will be the reserve currency for not the United States, but for the world, because we will control it. Yes, us. That is what he wants, and that's what he sees happening. You have any idea how big that is for the space? That if you're just holding stable coins right now, what is that going to do to your stable coin? I mean, just think ahead of how early you are in the space. People don't even realize what's going to happen in the future. If it's taking off even half, is even a quarter of as big as he says it is, and he thinks it will.
Their job. Let the free market, let the private sector develop these stablecoin products and let them compete, just like Fidelity competes with their money market fund, like Schwab competes. They're regulated and everybody uses them when they have a cash balance on their account. Let's do the same thing here.
I think that's super bullish too, because look at that. He's saying let them compete. Let the private sector and the government, let them come together. Let them find something like we do right now. That's how we live our life. That's how small businesses really, truly run this country, is that's how it works. He's saying do the same right now for cryptocurrencies, because you let the coders code, you let the government govern, and it works together. And think how early you are if you can be on the right side, or the correct side of when this is all going to start. You're talking mass adoption, you're looking at mass adoption.
Bitcoin, an allocation for institutions, which they do not have yet. What I predict will happen, they will put between 50 basis points and 3 basis points or 300 basis points into their portfolios. How much money is that? Trillions of dollars. So if you want to see Bitcoin appreciate in value, if you're an advocate like I am, because it's software and it's a property and maybe it's a currency, you want regulation. You embrace this and you stand back and watch the capital pour into this.
All right, guys, we've been saying it since day one. Regulation's going to happen. It has to happen. As I said in the beginning of this video, they're missing out on trillions of dollars because policy and regulation has not met governance right now and has not met the private sector as far as cryptocurrency goes. Are we getting there and stepping towards that way? Absolutely. But on a big stage like this, for someone with the contacts like Kevin O'Leary has, this is exactly how you are going to get rich from very little money if you're already in it. Eventually, it's going to not look the volatility. It's not going to look like it does right now. I'm calling it right now. It's not going to look the same. Can there still be the same decentralization, the way we're running things right now? Absolutely. But you're not going to be able to make the money you're able to make right now, and how you can 10x, 100x coins and all this stuff. It's never going to happen again. I mean, eventually that will all go away. In a 6% drop, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is the biggest crypto crash ever. That is going to happen, and that's what he's saying, that until those policies and this regulation happens, you're really not going to see those trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars come in, but eventually it's going to happen, and you are so early that this is the time. And this is not financial advice by any means. This is why Joe and I come on here every day, is to show you guys, listen, this is what we truly believe in. This is why we're putting literally all of our money into this and all of our time into this, and why we come in and talk about it every single day. But I mean, you can't get any more bullish than this. All right, guys, that's all I want to do. I want to go over quick the key points that I thought of his speech. You guys, I will link the more full video, more full version right down below. I just want to get the key points that I thought out to you guys quickly. This is the best way and the fastest way I could think about doing it. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, let me know in the comments below. But I gotta get out of here because I gotta coach a client. But I appreciate you guys rocking with the fittest crypto channel on YouTube, and I'm out.